Okay, so if everything went correctly, you should check your stack diagram and it should look something like this. Go ahead and pause if you'd like and take a look at this and compare it against your stack diagram. Now this diagram may look slightly different from yours because I didn't walk all the way down through the code, because that would have meant the stack pointer got moved back up and the frame pointer moved back up. So this is the state of the system if I step through this line 5555, etc., 636, which is main plus 14. So that's essentially we're stepping through the last store to the stack. So the last time anything has changed on the stack, and then after that, then it's just going to be, tear down of the actual main function. So we have this state that I already said before, but what got filled in was this saved frame pointer. And so that was the value of frame pointer, which used to point up here, this 7FFFA88. That got stored onto the stack at some point, and that would be at this specific location, Fs and then 8F8. Then you have at 8F0 uninitialized. That is never touched by anyone. That is never modified. And so I'm choosing to put a convention of putting it in gray and just leaving it as uninitialized. Then at this address, we have 7Fs and 8E8. That is the address of the lower 32 bits. And those lower 32 bits were never actually touched. And so that is uninitialized. So here I'm showing green fading into gray because the bottom 32 bits are uninitialized, but the upper 32 bits are initialized. So specifically that would be 8EC. So 8 plus 4 is C. And so at 8EC, that is where this scalable, this integer I, this constant that we created a local variable for, that I is stored on the stack at 7Fs8EC. So that's where you should see scalable. And then down at the stack pointer, again, there's 64 bits of uninitialized space. Basically, there seems to be some sort of overallocation. It's not using all that space, but it allocates that space nonetheless, and then just never touches it. Okay, so what are our takeaways from this single local variable O0 example? Well, the first thing is the local variables lead to an allocation of space on the stack, and it's specifically within the function where the variable is scoped to. So we have main, I is scoped to be a local variable in main, and consequently there is space allocated on the stack. We saw before that there was space allocated on the stack for frame pointers when we had no variables whatsoever and we just returned a hard-coded constant, and here we are seeing the allocation of space for both frame pointers and the local variable. So stack pointer minus 32, so that is allocating space on the stack. Another takeaway is that it is over allocating space because we have minus 32, that's the allocation of space, which is a minus hex 20, but there's hex 20 reserved and only 8 for a saved frame pointer and 4 for an integer I. There's only hex C worth of data, but there's hex 20 worth of reserved space. So something is going on there. We don't know exactly what, but these are our stores. One store of a D word, that's the frame pointer, and one store of a word, that's int. Again, words, 32-bit values, int I, 32-bit value. So we're already running a mystery listery that's keeping track of the fact that we don't know why GCC is over allocating space just for frame pointers. And now we're going to add a mystery to that, which is, why is GCC over allocating space for a single local variable? If we say that the frame pointer over allocation is that it allocates hex 16 for only hex 8 worth of frame pointers, well then here it again allocated hex 16 for only 4 bytes of local variables. So again, some sort of allocation going on. Don't know why, but we'll come back to it later. Another little takeaway that we can see from this is that it seems like GCC is referencing the local variables via a frame pointer relative address. And what do I mean by that? Well, we have this int I, and we can see, because this is unoptimized code, that there is a very inefficient storing of a word to frame pointer minus 20, and then an immediate reading of that same frame pointer minus 20 back into the exact same variable. And that variable didn't change between, at any point here. So that was completely pointless. That value was already in that variable. But again, that's what you get when you have explicitly unoptimized code. So yes, this seems to be the references to I, storing the value into I and then pulling the value back out so that it can return it. And those references to I are frame pointer relative. Different compilers can do this different ways. They could have chosen to make it stack pointer relative instead of frame pointer relative. but this is just a little inference about how GCC happens to be doing things here. And then a final takeaway is that the frame pointer, which is S0, doesn't point directly at the saved frame pointer. So here was the storage of the frame pointer to stack plus 24, but then it takes stack plus 32 when it's setting a new frame pointer value. And we saw that before up here. If we looked at our diagram, we saw that the saved frame pointer is right here, but the new frame pointer value is right here, right? So that was storing of stack plus 24, that was the storage, but stack plus 32 is the new setting of the new frame pointer value. So they seem to be off by 8. Some other architectures like x86, when you see 32-bit use of frame pointers, always the frame pointer register is pointing directly at the saved frame pointer, but that doesn't seem to be the case here with this code. Okay, well, let's go ahead and throw some chaos magic at this code and see what happens. So here is the code that we've been looking at thus far. And if we blow it away, we see some of our old friends, but we see a new friend as well, the compressed add-I16SP. So that is both a compressed instruction and some mnemonic that we haven't seen before. We haven't seen an uncompressed add-I16SP. Again, just as a reminder, part of the reason why I had that compression digression before is because I said you're going to keep seeing things. Compressed add-I at the beginning, compressed SDSP, compressed add-I for SBN. So you will just keep seeing those things over and over as we get rid of the aliases on the code, because that's just what GCC happens to want to use for this unoptimized assembly. So let's go ahead and drill down and figure out what C-add-I16SP is. Referencing back to this handy diagram from the book once again, we go ahead and we line it up and we see C.add-I16. That's what we're looking for. C.add-I, but no 16. Moving down, C.add-I16SP. Bingo, perfect. That's what we're looking for. So what does it stand for? Compressed add immediate times 16 to stack pointer. So we saw this one before, compressed add immediate times 4 to stack pointer non-destructive. So the differences are clearly a times 16 instead of a times 4. And we talked about the scale by 4 last time, so we might infer that there's going to be a scale by 16 going on this time. And we talked about non-destructive last time, saying it's not actually going to change the stack pointer, but we don't have non-destructive this time, so that probably means it's going to change the stack pointer. All right, what does this expand out to? Well, compressed add-I16SP turns into add-I, stack pointer, and 32 in this case, whatever the constant is, whatever the immediate is. Okay, so we could write that like this. The compressed add immediate times 16 to stack pointer. This is C-add-I-SP, and we're going to say a non-zero immediate 10-bit value, and it looks like it's signed. We don't have a U there for unsigned. So that expands to this, and so we know how add-I behaves, so we would do SP plus this sign extended 10-bit value, and it has to be non-zero. That's just a little caveat there. So SP plus sign extended 10-bit value, store the result back into SP. Okay, so we said NZ immediate 10 is a non-zero 10-bit signed immediate, and because of this whole name, we know that it is scaled by 16. Scaled by 16 means that bits 3, 2, 1, and 0 are all implicitly 0. So that means you can only have multiples of 16, 0, 16, 32, and so forth. So there's really only 6 bits encoded in the instruction behind the scenes. So we talked with the C-add-I for SPN that the N meant non-destructive, but here the entire point of it is to change the stack pointer. So it's always going to be changing the stack pointer. That is why it has the name stack pointer directly in the name of the instruction. So looking back at our code, we've got a little bit of monkey business going on here, given the side-I to this add-I16SP, because basically at the beginning we had this compressed add-I, SP -32, so it was subtracting 32, and here at the end it is adding 32, but the question is, why did it not just use another C-add-I? Because C-add-I can have signed values, so why couldn't it just use a positive 32? And of course, this also makes Thanos mad because there could have been perfectly balanced code here with a C-add-I of -32 and a C-add-I of +32. So we don't like lack of balance, do we? No, we don't. So what's the reason for this? Well, I don't strictly know, but I am reasonably sure that this is fundamentally down to it being heuristics due to unoptimized code. The reality is, if that we know the size of the stack pointer is changing by multiples of 16, compressed add-i 16 is actually a much better instruction to use because it can actually do a larger range due to that scaling by 16. So it can handle a much larger range of subtraction from the stack in addition to the stack. And indeed, we will actually see that later in the class. We will see that they go ahead and get rid of this C-add-i and start using C-add-i 16SP, both at the function prologue and the function epilogue. And of course, that's going to make Thanos happy because it'll be perfectly balanced like all things should be. Additionally, one other little bit here, if you looked closely, you may have seen that when it was loading that immediate scalable here, it had the upper 20 bits in the LUI was scale B instead of scale A. And there's the question of why is it not just using the upper 20 literal bits of scalable and the bottom 12 bits in the add-i, right? Why don't you use scale A? Well, the answer is math. The math is the reason, because add-i is using a signed immediate, as is obvious here by the fact that the disassembler is showing it in decimal and putting a negative there. So the B1E, BLE, is sign extended. So it's 12 bits, and that would be extended to be all Fs and then B1E. And if we take the 2's complement of that, we could see that that is 4E2, which is negative 1250, which is exactly what they're showing here. But the key thing is that if you did a load upper immediate, a LUI, on scale A, then the bottom 12 bits would be set to 0. And if you added that to this sign extended B1E, then you would get this result. And you can check this with a calculator at your leisure. You'd get scale 9 BLE, or B1E, and that's obviously not correct. So if instead we +1 this thing, then when it's getting added to all of these F's, then they'll all be carried over, and ultimately, so A plus F is going to carry over and be a B with a 1, and that 1 will carry over and make essentially the 0 and 1 carrying over, and so forth, and so the rest of the bits are not actually going to change. So just in general, you should expect that when you're seeing, it's nice that the disassembler told you, like, hey, by the way, whatever this thing just created, that's going to be the constant scalable. But in general, you should expect that if there's a LUI and an add-i, then if the add-i is doing a signed value, that it would lead to this sign extension, then the constant for the upper 20 bits needs to be +1 in order to make the math all work out. Okay, so we picked up the LUI assembly instruction in this example, and we also picked up the load word, similar to the load D word we had before, and the store word, similar to the store D word from before. Growing our instructions again, we have the pop of store word and load word down here in our load store area. And then we have LUI off by its lonesome for reasons that'll become clear later on. And then we had the compressed add-i 16SP, which is really just a special form of add-i that is operating specifically on the SP register, and which is using an immediate that is scaled by 16 so that it can hit a larger range of possible additions and subtractions to the stack pointer. And that's it for now, and on we go.